Alright, let me get close enough. Alright, Shalom, Shalom. I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the Akim out there spreading this truth like wildfire. Babu Shah, Babu Shah, Babu Shah. And Shalom to the real sisters. I mean, Shalom, yeah, Shalom, not all the rest to the rest of the hopeful elect out there. I hope this live is edifying to y'all. All right, I was doing some research, man. Woke up, man. I woke up thirsty. Mouth was all dried up. Need something to drink. They gave me some Sprite. And I almost when I start thinking about like, what if I, could make organic Sprite? Then looked it up, man. Organic sodas or organic Sprite. I came across some shit. I came across an article, but also, I looked up a video because, my fucking all internet TV basically is what it is. Or you could like access YouTube and shit. Well, nah, you can't access no browser in here. It's just basically it's working again. So that's what's up. Kala, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shem Kakadash. But I came across a plant called sarsaparilla, man, and apparently you could like it's good. It's medicinal, man. Like you could use it for shit that like shit that Esau prescribe medicines for and shit. Like so-called medicine. Pharmacia, right? So I came across some shit called salsa. So let me get what I found about sarsaparilla, man. And sarsaparilla, and I can play video too. But anyways, sarsaparilla is a soft drink originally made from the vine Smilex ornata, also called sarsaparilla, right? Or other plants. In most Southeast Asian countries, it's known by the common name sarsi, and the trademark sarsi and sarse. It is similar in flavor to root beer, and you have what does sarsaparilla do for the body, nigga? It's like, okay, it just comes out the way I talk. But anyways, the sarsaparilla contains a wealth of plant chemicals thought to have a beneficial effect on the human body. Chemicals known as sapopins might reduce joint pain and skin itching. And I'm gonna click on that article too. And it also kill bacteria. I just read it's just like a part of it from that article. Like, like a summary that they have. I mean, look up some shit on Google. And also kill bacteria. All other chemicals may be helpful in reducing inflammation and protecting the liver from damage. And yeah, sarsaparilla is a tropical plant from the genus Smilex. The climbing woody vine grows deep in the canopy of the rainforest. It's native to South America. Jamaica, Jamaica, not the drink. Even though that's made from plants too. Jamaica, the Caribbean, Mexico, Honduras, and the West Indies. Many species of Smilex fall into the category of sarsaparilla. Okay. They got like different basically families of them, basically like hold on, I got I'm having problems with that. afflictions, man. You gotta endure them. They got one called different Latin names. Oh, the salsa ornata one is the one that you make the damn soda from. They got salsa. I guess it's the A. This what the S stands for. Glabria or salsa Perea, maybe the whole deal. Aristo, one called Aristolo K Folia, salsa Perea, Regali, one called February Refuga, whatever the fuck this shit mean. Sarsaparilla, Habakanga, Sarsaparilla, or Jabakanga, Sarsaparilla officinalis. Okay. Basically, let me get into this deal. For centuries, indigenous people around the world used the root of the sarsaparilla plant for treating joint problems like arthritis, and for healing skin problems like psoriasis, damn it, like psoriasis, eczema, and or dermatitis, like some rashes and shit you get, different types. You would put it on your skin, the root. You like rub it on your skin, and it would help with that. The root was also thought to cure leprosy. Okay, like what Esau calls leprosy today, right? Which is not actual leprosy, but another disease that was renamed so he could cover his ass. But it cures that, okay? Due to its blood purifying, quote unquote, properties. So, let me stay on point. But I was gonna say this devil like renamed the whole disease just to cover his ass, man. Cover the fact that he's a leper. But let me continue. Sarsaparilla was later introduced into European medicine and eventually registered as a herb in the United States pharmacopoeia to treat syphilis. You used to use it to treat syphilis. Other names for sarsaparilla goes by many different names depending on the language and country of origin. But it's like, I'm gonna call it Kao Yin, like probably China, so-called China, Moabland, Kao Yin. You can call it that there. Saparna, Smale, Smalex, Sarsaparilla, etc. Right? Different names for it. This article is like healthline.com, health food. I don't know what the hell, bro. I wasn't trying to do that. This shit's annoying. Are literally like we literally like go back, and you didn't mean to go back. You did that shit on accident. You swipe right left, and you don't mean to swipe all the way and do some shit like that, man. It's annoying. But let me get that article again. That's fucking annoying. The benefits. Sarsaparilla drink. Sarsaparilla was also the common name of a soft drink that was popular in the early 1800s. The drink was used as a home remedy. It was often served in bars. People used to know about this shit, man. Contrary to popular beliefs, the sarsaparilla slakia, if y'all had to see that. Hopefully y'all didn't, because I'm not on that page. But if y'all did, salakia. The sarsaparilla soft drink was typically made from another plant called sassafras. Okay, sassafras. Okay, what the fuck? No, let me get that shit too. What is sassafras used for? It's used, it's medicinal too. It's a plant. The root part bark is used to make medicine. Despite serious safety concerns, he's always gonna say this shit about some herbs or some just scare you away from using it so that you abhor the herbs, which the scriptures tell you not to do. But you use wisdom with the herbs. That's all. Despite serious safety concerns, sassafras is used for u- urinary tract disorders, so UTIs and shit, swelling in the nose and throat, syphilis, just like this plant, bronchitis, high blood pressure in older people, gout, arthritis, skin problems, and cancer. Dude, and it's illegal. Man, is it illegal? Oh, it currently prohibits U.S. FDA. Of course, they put restrictions on that, but you can get that yo jabba jabba juice, at the local HEB with no problem. In fact, they're trying to force it into your home, man. Oh, of course. You know E, right? That nigga ain't shit. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration currently prohibits sassafras bark, oil, and saffrole as flavorings or food additives. Among one of the biggest potential pitfalls of shut up. This is reported legal cancer. They say it causes cancer. The FDA banned sassafras use in 1979. Following research that showed it caused cancer regrets. Probably, probably some guy and paid for a study, bro. Wouldn't be surprised. But they ain't gonna ban this shit. They ain't gonna ban, the devil's punch bowl juice, man. Shit causing people to drop dead left and right, man, and get disabled, even more so. This devil E ain't shit, man. Despite serious safety concerns, whatever E, you just have to that's just scaremongering, man. You just use it in with wisdom, you know. By the way, E, this is not official medical advice. God damn. Then you know how Esau is, man. He's gonna hit the flag button. So just for the record, it's not official medical advice. I Despite serious safety concerns, sassafras is used for urinary tract disorders, swelling in the nose and throat, syphilis, bronchitis, high blood pressure in older people, gout, arthritis, skin problems, and cancer. Yeah, because they're just used it, just because they know any better. And then along came this double E and just educated everybody. Swear, man. But let me continue, man. Okay, it's been described as similar. Okay, the sarsaparilla. Okay, because there's a drink called sarsaparilla and it was made from another plant called sassafras. Damn it, I gotta get my charger. I hate that. Shalom, shalom, Akil. My phone died on me. Oh, Khan. Yo, I'm just seeing these comments, Akil. 100%, man. Esau ain't shit, man. He ain't worth shit. You know, he's just a dumb cave monkey. You know, with the blessing of the sword. You know, really, the Most High Yahweh is, you know, the Most High Yahweh put this man in power, man. Otherwise, you know, you could see it. You know, he would still be in the caves. Khan 2020 through. Next year is 2020 through. Khan, Akia. Zombie, Andrew, zombie cyborgs, man. Zombie cyborgs. You know, the jabs, yo. The juice. They took the zombie juice, man. Now they're gonna be zombies and cyborgs, Khan. This shit was witchcraft, Khan. Three soccer players dropped dead in the past 3 days. Three in the last 6 days. God, man. Okay, three in the last 6 days. It was a correction. I see. Khan. Yet the FDA hasn't banned it yet. What the fuck? That's how you know. That's how you know this devil ain't shit, man. That's how you know. Yeah. But he gonna ban this, man. From a study back in the 1970s. Bitch, please. Yeah. It's been described as similar taste to root beer or birch beer. You can make beer out of. See, Esau ain't shit, and we don't need him for shit. We have the herbs. That the Most High, Yahweh designed and had Yahweh, his son, Yahweh Shai, his only begotten son, Yahweh Shai, and the angels create, man. The elect were among the angels. Birch beer is, you know, since angel does mean messenger. But yeah, birch beer is a beverage commonly found as a carbonated soft drink made from herbal extracts and birch bark. Fuck. Birch beer is significantly more complex and tastier than root beer. There is a lightness and freshness to it, an almost wintergreen or tea berry. So it's like, you know, that gum, wintergreen flavored gum, right? Will taste like that. Or tea berry herbiness that leaves it tasting clean and crisp. That's more well known though. Sarsaparilla is less well known. Birch water is a slightly sweet, low-calorie, low-sugar beverage, especially high in magnesium, manganese, and antioxidants. You don't really hear of it that much. Yeah, root beer used to be made out of that. The sassafras, man. The drink is still popular in certain Southeast Asian countries, but it's no longer common in the US. Yeah, because FDA, you know, has basically made it impossible. Though it can be found online and in specialty stores, today's sarsaparilla drinks, so like very hard to find. In other words, today's sarsaparilla drinks don't actually contain any sarsaparilla or sassafras. Instead, they contain natural and artificial flavoring to mimic the taste. So it's basically a cheap knockoff. Today's root beer is basically a cheap knockoff, that just imitates. Ah, shit. Satan slowed up my internet connection, really hindering. So I accidentally clicked. Also, the way this shit is set up is just stupid. I accidentally clicked on this on basically the tab that for this page, and it fucking closed. And I try to open it again. You can easily close it, which is stupid. And I tried to fucking undo it, but the internet is too slow. But yeah, you had a Sarsaparilla soft drink that was originally made from that. It was originally made from that, and then it was made from sassafras from that. But nowadays they just give you this cheap knockoff, man. Yeah, yeah. This drink was being used. It's slightly bitter tasting, but it tastes like root beer too. It's commercially used to produce a slightly bitter tasting medicinal drink, sarsaparilla. It's made from small eggs or not a plant or other variants of plants. Those are small woody vines native to Mexico, Escarland, and Central America. Zebulon. Yeah, coined from the Spanish term zarsaparilla, this drink has a rich and very long history. It's believed that the drink it was first used by the Native American Ishkarites, the natives of Mexico and Central America. So the Ishkarites and Zebulonites who prepared it for medicinal purposes. This was before the Spanish discovered the beverage and used it to different areas, introduced it to different areas of Europe. Interestingly, many believe that sarsaparilla's natural flavoring, which can be really very bitter to many, led to the development of root beer. So they took that shit and then they put some refined sugar. You got some refined sugar, and and then later on other chemicals, and then just took the flavoring from it and did that shit. That's what they did. During the 19th century, sarsaparilla and the flavoring of sassafras too. In the 19th century, sarsaparilla was advertised as a treatment for skin and blood problems, but the verdict has remained out on whether it has any health benefits at all. Yeah, because this is Esau does this shit to basically like cause you to avoid the herbs, man. to scare you away from them. You know, here you got this article, so backing it up, the FDA will say that the FDA, they're of course, with big pharma and shit, so they're gonna back up whatever big pharma push, whatever big pharma is on, man, whatever big pharma wants them to push, because the people on the FDA that work for the FDA, the bureaucrats at the top, man, they're like they're former execs from these big pharma companies. That's how basically how big pharma, can rig the FDA, to basically approve their shit, man. Like the forbidden fruit juice, the devil's punch bowl juice. However, some scientific research has backed up these health claims. Sarsaparilla contains. Hey, so why don't they just legalize it and push it out like they do the jab? Like they do the jab. Oh, I know why. Cause it's actually good for people. Sarsaparilla contains A, C, D, and B complex vitamins, and the whole vitamin A, C, D, and B complex contains all that, and a whole host of minerals such as iodine, iron, manganese, zinc, copper, and silicon. Actually. It's also been found that there are active chemical properties within the sarsaparilla plant, along with anti-inflammatory and anti-cancer compounds and antioxidants. Yeah, it was a reason why those Ishkarites were drinking it. Within these plants, there's a reason why these Ishkarites and Zebulonites were drinking it. But Esau, along came Esau, and all of a sudden it was bad for you. Within these plants are plant sterols. These have been found to lower LDL cholesterol and limit the risk of heart attacks and strokes. Oh. Instead of this fucking bullshit pharmakia witchcraft sorcery that Esau pushes at, that Dr. Esau, the physician of no value, pushes that on you, when you go to his office. Plant sterols, man, are substances similar to cholesterol, but are made in plants. Never trust an Edomite. Plant sterols are substances that are similar to cholesterols but are made in plants. They're found in the highest amount in vegetable oils, nuts, and seeds. Plant sterols might help reduce cholesterol levels while limiting the amount of cholesterol that is able to enter the body. Some plant sterols might also reduce how much cholesterol is made in the body. People commonly use plant sterols for lowering cholesterol levels. Plant sterols are also used for heart disease, colon cancer, stomach cancer, heart disease, colon cancer, stomach cancer, obesity, heart attack, and many other conditions. But there is no good science. And they put that little line in there, there is no good, aka there's no there's no Rockefeller backed, AMA backed, AMA approved scientific evidence, put quotes around it, right, to support many of those other uses, man. No Rockefeller approved. Really, Esau doesn't approve that evidence. So that's why you should. They say that you shouldn't take it because of that. Which again, that's why I'm gonna get that physician and no value scripture too, man. That's Esau, man. He's a physician of no value. Job cursed this devil out for being the physician of no value. Job 13:4. But ye are forgers of lies, ye are all physicians of no value. They're physicians of no value, man. They're literally worthless, man. Physicians of no value, and they're forgers of lies. What does it mean to forge something? Doctor something, showing you that, how they, showing you why they call themselves doctors, man. Just that should be a red flag. Why do these motherfuckers call themselves doctors instead of physicians, man? It should tell you something. Verse 5, oh, that ye would altogether hold your peace, and this should be your wisdom. But they won't hold their peace, because they're too proud. They think that they're too proud, and they're deceivers too, man. Yeah, I had to slip that little disclaimer in there. Oh no. Oh yeah. They're good for all this, but at the same time, there's no good scientific evidence to support many of those other uses. Okay, Esau. Don't confuse. Okay, devil. Don't confuse plant sterols with beta cisalsterol or citostanol. These are specific types. This devil. These are specific types of plant sterols. This devil. Okay, Esau. Mr. So-called know-it-all. So-called. Emphasis on that. Oh shit. Motherfuckers, man. And then they throw it on this article. In this article, they throw that little disclaimer in there too. Okay, E. Unfortunately, it was found that sassafras trees contain volatile oils that could cause cancer. Therefore, the FDA banned the plant. So manufacturers had to look elsewhere for ingredients. No, they banned the plant because the shit was good for you, man. Because the shit had medicinal ingredients that Big Pharma didn't fucking like. That's what it was. Shit, beer kind of crooked. That was Esau's issue, because he has no problem pushing other cancer causing shit like what he's been pushing, the lethal injection. This has resulted in modern root beer beverages being flavored without sassafras oils and burnt without the original plant. Like devils. While modern root beers do not contain sassafras plants, they do include artificial flavoring. That's much better for you, of course, and don't cause cancer at all or anything like that, right? Right. It's fucking devil. Preservatives, sodium benzoate, and sweeteners such as maple syrup, honey, sugar, which that's not that. They process that motherfucking shit, especially sugar, man. Honey, sugar, aspartame. Yeah, aspartame, man. Shit made from bacteria bacteria waste. Literally, yo. It's literally made from bacteria waste. And they say that shit is better for you than sassafras oil, man. Esau, man. That's why this motherfucker has to go. And molasses. Root beer first hit our shelves as a commercial, which all this is, that's good for you, man. You know, make no mistake, honey's pretty good for you. But sassafras, uh, the other shit, sarsaparilla, you know, the other plant, it's good. That's real good for you. It had a lot of good effects. You know, processed sugar, they stripped the good shit from it. Or right, refined sugar, refined it in fucking bone char. That can, you know, they say could contain pig bones and shit to foul your sugar. Yeah, Esau ruined sugar, man. This devil ruins fucking sugar. Root beer first hit our shelves as a commercial beverage in 1875. It was developed by Charles Elmer Hires, but has a longer history than this. His first intention was to name the drink root tea, but ended up with going root beer instead. Because it technically is a tea, right? This was to boost sales among Pennsylvania coal miners. Oh yeah, root beer, right? You know, they also, you know, they had, you had alcoholic, it used to have alcohol too, man. Root beer became increasingly popular in the 1890s with non-alcoholic variants becoming available on the market. So you had alcoholic variants then, becoming, you know, actual root beer. But yeah, when non-alcoholic variants coming available on the market to reach a wider audience. As mentioned, sassafras root drinks have a long history. Sassafras root beverages are being made by the indigenous people of the Americas, the northern tribes of the nation of Israel, for hundreds of years. It was originally used for medicinal and culinary purposes. Though this wasn't root beer as we know it today, the arrival of Europe, of read Edomites, man, when they say Europeans. Even though you had sellout Jakes come as well, and Jakes brought it as slaves from the west coast of Europe. Yeah, you know, in North America in the 1600s, saw them use so-called European, you know, culinary techniques to make these sassafras root drinks and root beer similar. Saw them use so-called European culinary techniques to make them these sassafras root drinks into the root beer similar to today. You know, you'll bet Jake had a role in that too, man. We former of all things. While many people get confused between these beverages, there is. So you probably had it then too, man. You probably had, man. You know, you had Northern Kingdom and probably had Southern Kingdom play a role, man. Because Europeans is used as like, well, Europeans is used to talk about so-called white people, but which, you know, Esau mainly. You know, really these Edomites that took over, right? But you know, you had Jake Scattered, and you had different groups of Jakes as well, man. Slaves that were Jakes, of course. But let me continue. Solemn Muse, okay. Flavors. While many people get confused between these beverages, there is one distinct difference: the taste. Original sarsaparilla, which is made from root and bark extracts, has a slightly bitter taste. However, to some, this slight bitter taste is overwhelming. Unique with a bold aftertaste is the best way to describe this classic drink. These days, some manufacturers add licorice or some form of sweeter ingredients to reduce this distinct bitter taste. Root beer tends to be packed with sweeter, lighter flavors that appeal to the wider public. The aftertaste of root beer is much lighter and can be sometimes be rather foamy. However, this can depend on the ingredients used to make the beverage. Root beer is typically considered to be the tastier of two drinks. It often contains a combination of sarsaparilla root and cinnamon, nutmeg, vanilla, honey, anise, wintergreen, juniper, burdock, and aspartame for a very flavorful taste. That is why many experts consider root beer to be unadulterated sarsaparilla because it was they ripped it off from that, and then what they fucking did is they don't use the sassafras, and I actually read into it. They be using like just the flavoring from that, you know. They don't really be using sarsaparilla and that shit, man. This is what I was trying to close right here. Yeah. Matter of fact, I can verify that. It doesn't have sassafras, man. It took it out. But that because I saw it show up on the search result. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So Froley, they banned this shit, bro. It was traditionally made from sassafras, sassafras tree, or the vine or the vine of Smilax ornata, known as sarsaparilla, originally made from that. Now it's artificial flavoring, basically. Let me see if any of these. I'm verified. I know it don't have sassafras because they banned this shit. Because it's like they banned the shit that's good for you, bro. Instead of sassafras, they incorporated more caffeine and less sugar than other barges. Over the years, hold on. And you have birch beer too, which you don't really hear of either. It's called Barks with a Q. I always thought it was called Barks. Let me see if this one has it. It's called Barks. This shit used to be made from the root bark of the sassafras tree, so it makes sense. The type of root beer, and then they switched it. More caffeine and less sugar than other brands. giving it a bit of like, okay, they still fucking make this shit out. So I can see 23 flavors. Okay, flavors. Keyword. Flavors are cola, cherry, licorice, just like it don't have that no more. It used to have sodas used to have that too. Used to have cocaine, what I call cola. Y'all know that though. Y'all that's in the know that already though. Cherry, licorice, amaretto, almond, vanilla, blackberry, avocado, blackberry, caramel, pepper, anise, sarsaparilla, ginger, molasses, lemon, orange, nutmeg, cardamom, allspice, coriander, juniper, the juniper root, birch, and prickly ash. These flavors, their flavors combined make up the smell of the pharmacy where Dr. Pepper was created. Okay, thus Dr. Pepper, right? So wanted to create the smell from this pharmacy because he liked how it smelled so much. He successfully recreated the smell of his pharmacy, which ended up becoming the smell of Dr. Pepper. People say there are still places you can originally buy the original Dr. Pepper made with real cane sugar instead of high fructose corn syrup. I'm trying to find where it say it still had this shit because they're not fucking natural, nigga. I don't believe any natural beer in that, nigga. Or this devil like fucking like let's see this shit right here, bro. Adulterated means another. Means changed up. Adulterated sarsaparilla as it contains a mix of other ingredients. And you still buy sarsaparilla. It's still available online, okay. Why is sarsaparilla banned? I'm trying to so verify. Yeah, no, it don't. It don't contain any real sassafras. Okay, it don't contain sassafras root no more. But it don't contain in. Oh shit. Okay, yeah, it was banned. It's just the flavoring. I'm right. It's a cheap knockoff they're selling you then. Well then, so it's no good for you. It's just you're just tasting. It's just the flavor, man. Esau's the devil. Yeah, because from this article, McGill Dog, CA, to going into this. Well, sassafras and sarsaparilla both contain safrole. Motherfucking devil. Compound recently banned, something else I don't get. Recently banned by the FDA due to its carcinogenic effects, so called. Safrole was found to contribute to liver cancer in rats. Of course they're gonna say that. When given in high doses, probably fucking overloaded it, man. Of course, no shit. And thus it and sarsaparilla containing products were banned. But more recent studies have actually both sassafras or sarsaparilla containing products. They were both banned. But more recent studies have actually failed to find evidence that the effects seen in rats occur in humans. Yeah. Thus, in the fact that several other foods like the aforementioned nutmeg also contain safrole, makes the ban seem less science-based and more the result of fear. Really, the result of Big pharma, man. That's just, but yeah, I want to verify that. But let me get some scriptures on that, man, because you to do this, man. I mean, and we're commanded not to do that. The Most High Yahweh created medicines out of the earth, man. Ecclesiasticus, Ecclesiasticus or Sirach 38 verse 4. Yahweh hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. There you go, man. There you go, man. He that is wise will not abhor them. But Esau wants you to be a fool, man. Esau wants you to be a dummy, man. Esau wants you to be a dummy. Yeah, selling the stuff flavoring without the shit when it ain't even bad for you. That was just propaganda. I'm gonna keep reading on. Verse 5, was not the water made sweet with wood that the virtue thereof might be known? Verse 6, and he had given man skill that he might be honored in his marvelous works. Verse 7, such doth he heal men and taketh away their pains. So it's different herbs, different plants, barks of trees and shit like that's good for treating shit, man. Was not the water made sweet? Well, I want to look at that too. This shit that Esau does not fucking tell you, man. Sweet and fit to drink, good to drink too, right? I was talking about them, man. The waters that was bitter, you couldn't fucking drink them. Both bitter and like also, not drinkable, like you fucking die, bro. Exodus 15:23, when they came to Mara, they could not drink the waters of Mara, for they were bitter. Therefore, the name was called Mara. Verse 25, and he cried unto, verse 24, and the people murmured against Moses, saying, what shall we drink? Verse 25, and he cried unto Yahweh, and Yahweh showed him a tree in which he had cast into the waters were made sweet. And it was good too, man. There he made for them a statute and an ordinance, and there he proved them. certain plants that do that, man. Something else I want to say is that that word, you know this is come from the same root word as basically Mariam, and also really if you trace back the root what America come from, goes back to bitter, man. All right, so certain herbs they could do that, man, and trees. Those are the medicines that was created out of the earth, man. Salakia. And get back to what I was going into. Fuck that shit. I'm plug it. Every time like the charger is not dependable, it's causing my screen fucking black out and shit. But yeah, let me keep reading. Yeah, giving man skill that he might be honored in his marvelous works. Okay, I already read all that. Verse 8 of such the apothecary make confection, and of his works there is no end. And from him is peace over all the earth. So there you go, man. That would be an example of that, man. In fact, let me look up the word confection. It's a dish or delicacy made with sweet ingredients. Whipped chocolate and cream confection. One definition. Another one, when the library, it's basically, I would say the second one definition, the action of mixing or compounding something, more like that. Now it's not food loaded with sugar, man. That's like obviously doesn't fit the description. Action more like that, yeah. Definition number 2, man. I mean, several herbs be put together, man. And also this right here, man. Let me look up apothecary. And apothecary KJV, man. Get that. Where another verse that it says something about that. Ecclesiastes 10:1. Dead flies cause the ointment of the apothecary to send forth a stinging flavor. So doth a little folly him that is in reputation for wisdom and honor. Okay, that's an example there. Yep. Another example. During the old covenant, like we was in the old covenant, we in the transitionary period right now. We're not in the new covenant, we like in the transitionary period. But basically when sacrifices was being done, Exodus chapter 30 verses 21 So they shall wash, not 21, it's like you. Let me read on. Basically, right here, they do this. Verse 22, moreover, Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, verse 23, take thou also unto thee principal spices of pure myrrh, 500 shekels, and sweet cinnamon. You know that's the anglicized version. Shekels, right? Shakal, probably. And here's what it is. And sweet cinnamon have so much, even 250 shekels. And a sweet, I'm just going to read it verbatim. And a sweet calamus 250 shekels. Verse 24, and of cassia 500 shekels. And after the shekel of the sanctuary, and of olive and okay, so it's like a mix. They take all right, mix it. Verse 25, and thou shalt make it an oil of holy ointment, a compound after that. Order the apothecary, it shall be a holy anointed oil. Verse 26, and thou shalt anoint the tabernacle of the congregation therewith in the art of the testimony. And that's what you, verse 27, of the table and all its vessels, and the candlestick and his vessels, and the altar incense. Okay, that's another example of that, but it's another example of, but it doesn't really go into what I'm bringing out. The verses that I brought out before in Ecclesiasticus, they really go into that. Well, hold on. Here's another verse to keep in mind. Ah, shit. No, I ain't trying to do that again. I'm gonna wrap it up soon. Pretty much reached the, reached the conclusion. Pretty much proved my points. Esau, he'd rather you take his bullshit from the kid, man. And actually take these herbs that were designed by the Most High Yahweh to be medicinal, man. Shit, even the way these vegetables are, even the way these vegetables themselves, they have benefits. They have benefits like medicinal, supplemental benefits, basically like upkeep, right, for your body. But the most slacky. But Esau would rather have you go to him and shit. They want to consider a mandate, for the forbidden fruit juice, mandating the forbidden fruit juice for domestic air travel. While he's banning shit that's good for you, like sassafras and shit, and and that shit, the other shit, what that herb, um, sarsaparilla, he's trying to force this jab into your arm, man. He's trying to mandate this jab, man. You get this article real quick, matter of fact. It goes into this nigga, he ain't shit. Fauci says U.S. should consider mandate for domestic air travel. For domestic air travel. In an interview Monday on MSNBC's Morning Joe, Dr. Anthony Funky Cheese, Funky Cheese, the cave monkey said, Funky Cheese, the old cave monkey, said a mandate for domestic air travel is worth considering. International, the old funky cave monkey, right? International travelers must show proof of that they got the hit and the negative math test in order to board a U.S. bound flight and also wear a mask. The federal government should consider requiring, quote unquote, the federal government should consider requiring the serum or the lie serum for domestic flights. The nation, you have true serum, right? The lie serum for domestic flights. The nation's top infectious disease expert said Monday, quote unquote, so-called expert. When you make um when you make that a requirement, that's another incentive to get more people to get this shit, man. Said physician of no value, Anthony Funky Cheese, the Funky Cave Monkey. In an interview, Dr. Funky Cheese and the Funky Cave Monkey in an interview on MSNBC's quote unquote Morning Joe. If you want to do that with domestic flights, I think that's something that seriously should be considered, quote unquote. There's no indication at this point that a mandate is on its way for U.S. flights. When asked on MSNBC, the Funky Cave Monkey himself, White House chief medical advisor, declined to say whether he has made the recommendation to President Joe Biden. The White House, when asked for, of course he has. That's a no-brainer. The White House, when asked for comment, referred CNBC to the Biden statement to ABC News Net last week, quote unquote, it's been considered. Biden said, but quote on, no shit, quote unquote, but the recommendation I've gotten is it's not necessary. Then he just, it's something that should be considered. I think which I believe that this devil is waiting for the Supreme Court to clear the way for all that. By setting that precedent. Oh yeah, you can mandate that shit. Oh, then he's gonna go like full-fledged with it, That's basically, all bets are off once they do that. All bets are off. The child right now, he's kind of like falling back. Biden also said, there's no federal solution to the P Diddy, But yeah, I believe Esau, this Esau is just waiting for his controlled Supreme Court, basically to justify it. So no one could be like, wait, but it's fucking unconstitutional. You can't force us. Well, the Supreme Court justifies it, just like it justifies abortion and homosexual marriage. So we can do it. Then that's when shit's gonna get real, man. The travel industry, real draconian. The travel industry, meanwhile, expressed opposition to a mandate for domestic travel when Funky Cheese made a similar suggestion in September. Okay, so he tried the waters back then. Already, U.S. passengers must wear masks to board planes and keep them on the duration of the flight, except when eating or drinking. International travelers must also show proof. So international travelers already have to do it, right? Must also show proof of that they took the hit and a negative and negative results, negative math quiz results, in order to board a U.S. bound flight and also wear a mask. While the Omicron variant of the Crown Royal 1984 edition that's spreading rapidly, like, spreading virally, right? It's out here across the U.S. Airlines have canceled more than 2,000 flights since Friday due due partly to outbreaks among staff. So, all right, literally stay hype this shit off, man. Just hype this shit up, man. The moronic version, right? The moronic version or remix, Across the country, moronic accounts for the majority of new infections at 7.3% of fresh cases as of last Monday. The highly infectious variant has caused a handful of states, including New Jersey and New York, to report more cases than any other 7-day period since the start of the P. Diddy demic. And it's the same one that they say, oh, it's not as bad, it's not causing. They're gonna say that, and then they're gonna cause panic at the same time to push their draconian measures, man. A handful of cities in the U.S., including New York City, require proof of the hit being taken to attend indoor venues such as Broadway, soon to be the actual MARK, to attend indoor venues such as Broadway theaters, sports arenas, restaurants, and fitness centers. Slovakia. A handful of cities Slovakia in the U.S., including NYC, require proof of the hit to attend indoor venues such as Broadway theaters, sports arenas, restaurants, and fitness centers. So now, you know, Dr. Funk E. Cheese, now him, Funk E. Cheese, right? The Funky Cheese, the funky cave monkey, right? Now he's considering a mandate, the devil's punch bowl juice mandate for domestic air travel while banning stuff shit that's actually good for you. Going into the point, man. While banning herbs that's good for you, this devil, and he's pushing this he's pushing the forbidden fruit juice like it's nobody's business, man. Yet he gotta be in everybody's business with it, man. Making it everybody's business to either take it or take a stand. No, he's requiring that shit, man. For that, Now it's recommendation, but they keep recommending shit like this, just like they recommended mask mandates, just like they recommended negative math quiz mandates. They recommended that as well. They recommended all this shit. They recommended lockdowns before. They started out with recommending it, and then it became a mandate. Then it became you had to do it. We're gonna make you. We're gonna make you do it. It became an unrighteous decree. Unrighteous decrees. That's what this is how this devil pushes them. Isaiah 10:1. Woe unto them that decree in righteous decrees, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed. These devils, they right grievousness which they have prescribed. Which they have prescribed, man. Verse 2, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. And this is what these devils do today, man. This is an example of that. See, you gotta take the lethal injection, or you can't board a flight, is what they're pushing now. And then they're pushing it for interstate travel too, man. So you'll be. This is how. It's also because of this, man. Because these people in these blue states, man, they're fucking getting out of there, man. They're dipping out of that of those they are shitholes. Fuck it. They're dipping out of there and they're coming over here, because they don't think it's gonna happen here. When it's gonna happen here, eventually. He's just biding his time. But best believe, due to civil wars and shit, we're either by consent or conquest, right? They're gonna push the shit. Sixth Circuit. Let me get that article. New Yorkers. Shut up in my news, man. New Yorkers on consider it. I was gonna play a video on that herb, but I brought out enough info. More could be done to fix Texas's paper license problem. Interesting. We know these devils are fixated with to an absolute identity that can't be hoaxed and shit. Basically, can't be faked. We know these devils are fixated with that. They're obsessed, man. Hold on. They are obsessed. Let me get this right here. This is why, New York. But anyways, because of those mandates, New Yorkers ain't swinging that way, so they coming over here instead. Because they don't swing that way, a lot of them. Why New Yorkers are fleeing to Texas and Florida in droves. NYC, here's no longer an Empire State of Mind. Let's see if it mentions the mandates. Let me see. This is a New York Post article. He's no longer an Empire State of Mind. NYC native Dimitri Voutsinas left the Big Apple for Austin, Texas in June 2021 and has no regrets. "Quote unquote, I don't miss it at all. It felt empty and just a shell of what it was," said Voutsinas, 37, a chef who had to close his restaurant on the Lower East Side in October 2020. Oh, guess what? Because of the lockdowns, right? Nobody was, and because of the P. Diddy demic, right? Nobody was coming out. Nobody was ordering anymore. It was a disaster, quote unquote. Voutsinas is in good company. So he came here because the restrictions is not as much. Voutsinas is in good company. Some 319,020 residents fled New York State between July 2020 and July 2021, according to U.S. Census Bureau data released last week. A 1.6 year-over-year loss that made New York the nation's leading state for population decline. No one would have stayed there no more, man. People were sick of it. They're like, nah, man. Fuck. Hey, fuck those mandates, man. Ugh, man. No, honestly, it's just tripping me out. I don't know what the fuck that is. Strange. It's a fiery trial. That's so. Ugh. Honestly, I don't know what the fuck that is. It's tripping me out. But yeah, another affliction. Texas, which grew by 310,288 people and don't charge its residents any income tax, knocks the country's largest gain. Yeah, you got motherfuckers coming over here and shit. They're fucking leaving New York State, man. They're leaving California too, man, because of all the mandates and taxes and shit. And it's how this place, like, man, what the fuck? It's how this place is, it was totally like set up that way, man. These motherfuckers is heading this way. These motherfuckers is heading this way. Because it's basically, when you look at it, they got this controlled opposition set up over here, so they can invite these motherfuckers can come over here and think that they're escaping from all the mandates, right? The righteous decrees of Esau. And then, have all of them over here so that when basically what they're trying to do is they're trying to, like, have this civil war, get this civil war popping, so that they can then like take out all these people who don't want to comply and shit, who still didn't give in, right, to the pressure from above and pressure from below. Just get all of them, basically have them all in one area, and then have basically by force them by conquest and shit. Basically, that's what. Yeah, force them by UN Gurkha troops. But like force them by using UN Gurkha troops, man. Hold on. Okay, they don't want to cooperate. They're not conceding to it. Okay. Man, what the fuck? Somebody at my door. I don't see where they are. Where they're at, They was only here for whatever it was. If they was at my door, they was only here for a quick second. But yeah, Salakia for all that, man. Salakia for all that bullshit. Texas, which grew by, okay, yeah, I just read that. I'm here for a long time, quote unquote. Vusina said of Austin, because they're gonna think that they're safe here. Oh yeah, Texas got us, They're not gonna fucking, like, we're not gonna have to take none of that bullshit. Ultimately, Texas is being set up to be made an example of, like you have like with the Great Freeze, that happened last winter, may pull the same type of shit this winter. We gonna see. Like with that, man. They be talking about dark winter. But like with that, Texas was made an example of, man, because they was talking about like we finna succeed and shit. They was bucking up. The Texas Edomites was bucking up against against Babylon and shit, man. So they was made an example of. The Texas, you see Texas being put out there as this problematic state that won't fucking listen to what the elites have to say and shit. They always, they always, they always got some shit to say. They're being as a state in the way of progress and shit. They're being put out there like that, man. So you see the narrative that's being set up here, man. Where the UN troops is basically Texas is like set up like for this new Civil War type setup, like as the leader of it, Texas and Florida and shit. It's like you had the old Civil War, which was over Jake, over different ways, basically over who was gonna hold Jake as a slave, and basically in different ways. Also, different ways of oppressing Jake. Also, is what basically the old Civil War was about. Either individual Edomites were gonna own them as slaves, or the elites were gonna own them, and basically they would be like, when you look at it, leased out, man, to these different Edomites and businesses and shit. Because you have to go apply for jobs, and you get even paid, debt notes, and it's you're barely able to survive and shit, and then they take an income tax out of that, the federal government do, which is really a corporation owned by the elites, by the Rothschilds, and a whole birth certificate deal. But you get the point, man. But that was what the elites favored, so there was like a civil war over that, or what type of slavery too. But basically, you had them two states that was always bucking up and shit the most, the South Carolina, motherfucking Alabama. So this time around, you have Texas and Florida that's bucking up. There's always them states that's bucking up. That's problematic, and they're gonna be made an example of. But yeah, let me keep on reading. He and his wife recently bought a house there and have a baby on the way. Last April, Bucinas and another former New Yorker. These were all the rebellious Babylonian Edomites, and even have some Jakes as well as coming over here. And another former New Yorker, Benjamin DeMarcalier, 39, opened a restaurant, Show Me Pizza, in the Texas capital. Both men are loving the more business friendly, basically less regulations and shit. Nature of the new state, along with greater access to the outdoors for hunting, fishing, and hiking, because they're Edomites. Texas wanted everything open as soon as possible, and it was the opposite sentiment in New York City, said Denmark Killier, a longtime NY restaurateur who settled in Texas in November 2020. And they actually, that's why they came. A lot of these small time, Joe Schmoes that's over there, lowercase e's, that's over there that own these little businesses, and as well as, some Jakes, as well as different heathens and Jakes, that are like Jakes that are enough well to do to own a business, like a little business over there. And a lot of them, they're coming over here because a lot of them they're coming over here because of that shit, man. Because of the regulations and shit, which don't really affect the large companies. They affect the smaller companies. and the P Diddy demic was basically the last straw for a lot of them, and the mandates that came with it was the last straw for a lot of them. It said like basically what Denmark Killier, this Edomite said, a long time NY restaurateur who settled in Texas in November 2020. Quote unquote, my friendships are stronger, my relationships are more connected. Like Vucina's Olivia Young 35, left New York for Austin after having to shut a business. In November 2020, she closed her Box Plus Flow fitness studios after months of trying to keep them alive amidst the 1984 Crown Royal edition P. Diddy demic because it was spreading virally. In early 2021, she relocated and she's enjoying a life that isn't all business. Quote unquote, we are much more than what we do. Being out of New York City allows you to be much more present because you're afforded the opportunity to slow down and to connect with yourself and other people. Quote unquote, said Young, who's now working as a consultant to food and fitness brands. Quote unquote, my friendships are stronger. My relationships are more connected. Ah, shit, what the fuck? Clicked on that shit by accident, yo. They aren't transactional or conditional, they're just honest. It's also quite sunny in Florida. They moved down there too. In January 2020, Livio Rosado bought a salon in Boca Raton as an investment and quickly became a reason to relocate. They've been doing that shit for a minute, but it's picked up. No, because you have them snowbirds that come down there and shit. But also Texas too, Florida because it's known for its beaches and shit. But just behind Texas, Florida, but it's picked up because of the demic, man, the P Diddy demic. Just behind Texas, Florida saw the second biggest increase in population, swollen by 211,000 and 196 residents between July 2020 and July 2021. The Sunshine State has also remained more open in New York during the demic, man, Diddy demic. In part by recommending not requiring face coverings in it too. Fuck. Damn, get out my face, bro. and it too has lured in business-minded folks. Among them is 38-year-old Livio Rosado, who lived in sounds like Northern Kingdom, who lived in Freeport, Long Island, and fucking ads, man, and was a managing partner in two beautiful people beauty salons nearby Merrick. In January 2020, he purchased the Green Room Salon in Boca Raton as an investment, but it ended up being a saving grace. His Long Island employees were hesitant to come back to work following 3 months shutdown from March to June 2020. "Quote unquote, it was just chaotic, and we couldn't sustain both locations. We had to shut one down," Rosado recalled. "We never reopened it," quote unquote. So in June 2020, Rosado, along with his wife Amaryllis 39, and the 3-year-old daughter, Camila, moved to Pompano Beach, a city about 11 miles from Boca. They grabbed a super cheap 2,000 square foot rental apartment and haven't looked back, quote unquote. I was just done, quote unquote, said Rosado of Long Island, and he's no longer financially involved in the renaming Beautiful People Salon. "I was bored, quote unquote. I was bored, I was frustrated. Need to start looking at the incentives. Like, I got a business just opened up in Florida, and the one here in New York is closed. Yeah, a lot of them is heading over here, and a lot of them been heading over here because, you're not required to pay the employees as much. A lot of it is that too. Why they've been heading over here, which is a downside for Jake, man. Especially Jake that's less privileged than because they're darker skinned and shit. That's also how it's worse for Jake. Well, because it's a trade off, yeah, the apartments and shit cost as much as they do more out west. But trade off, you don't get paid as much. Either way in Babylon you're fucked. And also, but you have more people heading, down south because of the demic, man. Because of that, man. Because that's something that is even there's like pros and cons to different living in these different parts of the city, right? Of the country of Babylon, right? No, even though Babylon is like, already know Babylon, there's different ways that they oppress you, right? But it's like pick your oppression, man, and your saving graces. Your crumbs. Pick your oppression and your crumbs. In the northeast parts of the Midwest and the West Coast, higher taxes, more regs, business got to pay the employees more. This is how it's been before, the Diddy demic, right? And all that, right? More higher taxes, more regs, apartments cost more, and you got to pay your employees more. But for an employee, you get paid more, and you have rail, you have like shit like that, right? If you don't have a car and shit, which they set that up for the smart cities, we already know. Got shit like that, small so-called protections and shit for the workers and shit. And then you have on the south, less regulations. You got business don't gotta pay as much, which is a disadvantage to employees, man. And don't gotta basically, but the apartments, at the same time, the so-called perks is crazy cheaper, man. So that one didn't have nothing to do with stock. The P select it, but then okay, so that's how it's been, man. You different, ways of oppression, like them regs, that really affect the smaller businesses worse, and the higher rents and shit like that. But at the same time, the perks mean you get paid more, and there's more, welfare programs and shit. And then over here, and they don't be like racist to your face and shit. You like that. If you like them, you like massa whooping your ass while smiling and shit, basically. While saying it's good for you. You're gonna own this motherfucking plantation someday. I'm getting you ready for it. And versus, the South and Heartland states, other Midwestern states, right? Less regulation if you own a business, so less in your business type shit. But at the same time, less and they don't really also, they don't push that abortion shit, they don't push that homosexuality shit as much and shit as they do in them left coast and them certain Midwest states and them Northeast states. But at the same time, if you're an employee, you're not getting paid that much. Yeah, and lower costs for apartments, lower taxes, but at the same time, if you're not like some states like Texas don't have income tax, but at the same time, if you're disadvantaged, you're Jake, and you're not basically you're the darker skin, or you're an immigrant, Jake, don't have much connection, especially if you're darker skin, especially if you're darker skin. But Judah get it the worst, man. Judah and then darker skin Northern Kingdom get it the worst. Most likely to be employees than employers. Okay. But yeah, man, it's been like that, man. You be at a disadvantage, and plus the open racism and shit is more prevalent. And shit is more divided by skin color. Even other Jakes look down on you if you're darker skin and shit, and male down here. But but then you had this demic, man. Then you had then Esau did the demic, man, and pushed those regulations, that just basically added more cons to the list of living in these Northeast states and these left coast states and these different these Midwestern states that are like the Northeast states. And so you have them. So, then people that's up there started looking at moving down here more favorably. Cause it costs more, more convenient. All this plus that, that oppression, more inconveniences. Nah, fuck it. Rather, I'm just move down south, move back down south for some of them. Yeah, especially these Jakes, that moved, whose families moved up north, the northeast and shit, west to the left coast and shit. After, when during the so-called civil rights era. During the '60s and shit. The '70s. They basically, some of their sons and their daughters and their grandsons and granddaughters is moving back down here. But then you have also these rebellious Edomites, man, who their businesses is being affected and all that shit because of the regulations imposed by Big E over there, so they're coming over here. And here's an example of a Jake, a Jake that moved out of there. Man, he's some Northern Kingdom. They give example of an Edomite, of two Edomites that moved to Austin from NYC. Then they give an example of a Northern Kingdom Jake. It's like he's maybe I don't know, man. He's Northern Kingdom, so I know. His salon in Boca is bustling with 14 stylists, four of whom relocated to Florida from the tri-state area, and several former beautiful people clients who moved from Long Island. Moreover, Florida also don't charge its residents any income tax. "Quote unquote, I gave myself a 10% raise," quote unquote, he said. And although there are aspects of New York he misses, such as Broadway shows, the pros of leaving New York, there you go, outweigh the cons. "Quote unquote, there's more freedom to do things," he said of Florida. "Yeah, there's a demic. We have to take care of each other, but it wasn't like you need to stay in your box. There's economic flow here. People are spending money. They go places. So more business basically because it's less restrictions. That's why they moving down here." Basically, when you look at it seems like it's a better choice to move down here. For now, it is. But when you look at, the bigger picture, man, Esau is basically setting up and has set up these states, Texas and Florida, other southern states, Midwestern states, that are red states, to be like the trap, to be a trap, man, a dragnet type deal, man, a honeypot type deal, a huge one for motherfuckers who don't want to go along, to get along. They don't want to, they don't want to get bit, So they think they're running, they think they escaped the snake, man, by coming over here. They think they escaped the serpent. But, really it's a anaconda plan type deal, man. because they're basically hurting all these and they're doing this. Hold on. They're basically herding all these rebellious Babylonians into one area. Basically, that's what they're doing. The same areas, like Texas, for example, where you had a lot of where you had that drill, that Operation Jade Helm. That wasn't for no reason. Yeah, they didn't pull nothing then like people was thinking, but that was a drill, man. And it wasn't for no reason. It was a reason behind it. Trust and believe. And we finna find out, man. You know. Esau doing all this shit, to force you to take that shit. So he can then justify implanting you with the RFID chip. Yeah, man. Let me get it. He can then justify this right here, You gotta get the grain, You gotta get the grain, man. You can't go against the grain, you gotta get the grain. Grain of rice. At this article, NNY360.com. Microchip implanted under skin could be they're pushing it out there. Could be your passport, your zombie pass. A tech startup says a device even smaller than this one could be implanted as a passport. Yeah, man, what? And they keep bringing this shit up, man. After spending months, man, so-called debunking their plans to implant people with this shit. Now, they're bringing this up, man. Just like we said they was gonna do, and just like some of their own, they was also bringing out info on that, man. Cause that's their tongue falling upon themselves. Their tongue is falling upon them. Ultimately, the curses, are starting to cleave to these devils. And they have little petty vendettas against each other, and they're taking it out like that. Well, let me get into this deal right here. A rice-sized microchip implanted under your skin could become your zombie pass. A Swedish slack you for all that, man. A Swedish tech startup says its device could be customized to display people's 1984 edition Crown Royal Sot record. According to a video, the South China Post posted Friday on Twitter. Hold on. I'll move this down here. Put it all and group these tabs together. I don't lose my place. Shit. My eye. Epicenter based in Stockholm said anyone who opts for microchip implantation can later change their minds and have their devices removed. But That should probably be hella inconvenient. First of all, you know, it doesn't say, oh, once you remove it, it's once you get it, man. And come on. Also that, man. But anyways, you know, that probably costs a lot. Costs a lot. Be complications with it. Complications that happen just, you know, my because of my you're getting judged, man, for even taking the shit. Right now, it's very convenient to have a passport, zombie pass, always accessible on your implant. Also, that too, you know, once you get it, you know, want to take it off. Hence, strobe light, epicenter. They show you that in that movie Implanted, by the way. Epicenter's chief disruption officer says in the video, yeah, it basically controls you. They show you that it controls you, man. The chip uses near field communication to send the data to devices, including smartphones that can read them. Mm-hmm. It's the same type of technology used in most contactless credit cards and mobile payments, according to Fox Businesses. Oh, so they're gonna plant that shit in you. You can have that shit in you. Such devices have a range. Also, that you know, going into buying and selling, right? What are credit cards and mobile payments used for? You know, you implant. You know, they're used for that. You know, and you put the chip, shit, into the cash register. You know, into that little device right there, man. Come on. Such devices have a range of practical applications. Quote unquote, they can act as a key FOB or a form of payment, or they can be programmed to store data. Like, for instance, your resume. All you have to do is hold a smartphone over the chip to program it. According to also, you know, they're gonna push this way to order mobile payments now. All you have to do is hold a smartphone over the chip to program it, quote unquote, according to Our Detroit magazine, quote unquote. They're not. Shit, bro. They're not dissimilar from the identification chips you'd install in your car, your cat or dog. Oh yeah, that's another way they pushed it out. They introduced it to the public. That's you gotta implant it, or 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 you want to track your cats and dogs and you don't want to lose them. Here, well we'll implant Slakia. We'll implant a chip in them to track them. And recently they've suggested the idea for kids too, missing kids. Well, so they're gonna push that as a solution too. Your kid will never go missing. The novelty of the technology makes some people uncomfortable enough to label it creepy, dystopian, or even apocalyptic. But a lot of these kids that's missing, because it is, man. It's the MOTV. They can't push it as hard, man. Because of that, man. They tried to push it in '07, but the apostles put them on blast. Back then, you know. Then the apostles and elders of Great Millstone came on YouTube, man. And started posting videos on YouTube, put them on blast. Then they own people put them on blast too. Their own people spilling the beans on, but Esau has been, the MOTB has been mean. The RFID chip has been mean, being that truth has been being pushed by GMS and like-minded hockey. Ugh, fuck. Swear, man. The novelty of the technology makes some people uncomfortable enough to label it creepy, dystopian, or even apocalyptic. Many responses to Friday's videos were negative and angry. Yeah, they were getting cussed out. Some noted that involuntary microchip via taking a hit was a prominent um, conspiracy so-called theory last year. Yeah. Yeah, when they call it a conspiracy theory, you gotta, that's when you should pay extra attention to it. A poll taken, a lot of the times, it's not actually a theory. A poll taken in May 2020 found, quote unquote, 44% of, you don't know what you're getting with that shit, man. You're gambling. But yeah, man. That's like at the least the jab is the prelude, to all that, man. 44% of Republicans think Bill Gates is working on uh, a Crown Royal 1984 edition shot because he wants to plant a microchip in them and monitor their movements, quote unquote. The New York Daily News reported. And look at how they're confirming it, man. Now they're gonna push it as a verification. This is how they're gonna push it, man. Verification, man. Because the Most High Yahweh wants you to make a choice, At the same time, wants it to be set up to be a choice, right? Esau can only do so much. He wants it to be a choice, whether you're gonna take it or not, or you're gonna take a stand, so that it's set up in the spirit who's gonna take it or not, but it is gonna play out like that, man. So that it will be known who are the elect and who ain't. Because the elect won't take that shit. But yeah, man. Let me get something else, man. These devils, man. got got this article right here. Sixth Court dissolved state of 1984 edition. Shot court mandate. Oh yeah, Crown Royal, 1984 edition shot mandate. And you got this, man, which I believe is kind of telling of. I'm gonna go get into it. Basically, I wouldn't be surprised, man. The Supreme Court, probably is gonna happen. It's essential to their agenda. The Supreme Court, may clear the way. Companies with 100 or more employees that fall within the requirements of the ETS will want to prepare to come into compliance with the ETS by no later than the extended deadlines provided by OSHA. Background as previously detailed here, the Occupational Health Administration (OSHA) on November 4, 2021 issued an emergency temporary standard applicable damn it, Slovakia, to businesses with 100 or more employees, requiring, among other things, that employees either take the hit or produce a weekly negative math test. The ETS was stayed nationwide on November 12, 2021 by order of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit. The various legal challenges to the ETS were subsequently consolidated in the U.S. Court of Appeal for the Sixth Court for further proceedings. So they're pushing it through the courts, man. Now, honestly, wouldn't be surprised if Esau Edom, and I wouldn't be surprised if it happens soon, Esau Edom clears it through the Supreme Court, man. Just green lights it. Like, yeah, we gotta do it. The times call for it, man. Like that, right? The times call for it, and the Constitution is a living document, or some shit like that. I mean, that may have applied then, but it does not apply now. And like I'm saying, man, these are precedents that are being set. And like, so push that argument there too. And like I said, hold on. And like I said, man, like I've been saying, Esau He's hold on, hold on. Once Esau does that shit, man. Once Esau clears it through the Supreme Court, bro, this is gonna pick up. This shit's gonna pick up the pace, like this shit gonna. It's basically gonna be like, it's basically gonna be like. Okay, it's basically gonna be like this. It's basically gonna be like hitting the nitro, them games, when you hit the nitro, like hitting the nitro, man, the gas pedal. When you hit the gas pedal, when you hit the nitro on or in the video games, man, you familiar with the video games, racing games and shit. When you hit the nitro and shit, basically it's gonna like take up. It's gonna pick up speed, man. This agenda. I'll watch for once they do that, I'll watch for that because once they do that, mandates, man. Hella mandates are gonna come down the pike, man. Well, the Supreme Court said that this is what it is, So we can push these mandates as long as because we are under a endemic, there is a pandemic, that we have to deal with, it's an emergency situation. So I'm gonna clear the way or something. And then since the states lost, because their states suing the Biden administration, that's going to go to the Supreme Court. So since their states is challenging this OSHA shit, so since the states lost by doing that, what's the next step, man? See, you already know where it's going. And you got all these people, like I brought out earlier, that they ain't fucking with these mandates, man. So all these people, these angry people, oh fuck no, we move over here to get away from that shit, and now they can mandate it federally. Fuck that shit. There's gonna be uprisings, man. There is gonna be uprisings. A second civil war, man. Fuck y'all niggas. We ain't gonna let y'all. There's gonna be civil wars, man. There's gonna be a civil war that's gonna break out, man. I could see it happening soon after the Supreme Court clears the way, which I believe is gonna happen that way. It's gonna happen soon. If don't, then shit. Watch for Esau to pull some shit out of his ass. Like release a virus out here, man. Oh, it's an emergency. They declare enough to declare martial law. Watch for that, man. But even though that may happen anyways, But yeah, man. Esau was building the case here, man. As previously detailed here, okay, yeah, the ETS will stay, yeah, required, yeah, okay, the ETS will stay nationwide on November the 2nd, 2021, by order of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit. The various legal challenges to the ETS were subsequently consolidated in the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Sixth Circuit for further proceedings. Get the fuck out of here. Damn. On December 17th, 2021, the Sixth Circuit dissolved the stay, allowing OSHA to resume efforts to implement the ETS. Oh shit, December 17th. What does this mean for covered employers? Shortly after the Sixth Circuit dissolved the stay, OSHA announced that it would not take action against businesses for non-compliance with any portion of the ETS before January 10th. Oh shit, January, man. January 10th, and specifically with respect to the ETS's testing requirements before February 9th, 2022. And 2022 is going to be a big year, man. 2020 through 2020 through. Yep. This place is 2020 through. Quote unquote, so long as like the brother Fisher turned Hunter, Amos 911, you know, like he mentioned. He calling this next year 2020 through. It's a wrap. Y'all wrote this out that year too. So long as an employer is exercising reasonable good faith efforts to come into compliance with the standards, you know, which they're gonna push. You know, it's gonna get draconian out here. None of the 22 approved state plans, including Puerto Rico, covering private employers, have taken steps to enact an ETS, but they're required to notify. Oh shit! Damn, my fucking memory too, man.